What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Dathan, aka the Brown Llama from the Winkin' Gentleman Society. And today we got a quick tutorial for you just to show you some quick Windows shortcuts and tips. Some you probably know, some you probably didn't know. Now, after this video, you'll know them. Do keep in mind there are tons and tons of shortcuts that you can use to navigate through Windows and various applications. This video is just going to give you some common ones to try to keep in mind. Again, don't try to memorize all of this stuff because you can always find a desktop reference that you can keep so that you can memorize and use these later. But we just want to give you something that you should keep in the back of your mind to help you work a little bit more efficiently, especially if you're using a Windows PC. All right, so sit back, relax, and let's get started. Now, the first one that we're going to play with is going to be the control button. Everybody should know about the control button by now. If not, you're going to learn today. So first, I'm going to go here to Microsoft Word, and I'm going to just type in some dummy text. All right, so let's bring this up here. So the first one I want to show you is going to be Control A to select all. Okay, yeah, I know you know that, but let's just keep going here. So Control A to select all, Control C to copy. Now I'm going to hit backspace or delete to get rid of all of that. But what I've done is copied it to my clipboard. So now you can hit Control V to paste that information to bring it back. Now, say we didn't want to bring that information back, we meant to do something else. What you can do is hit Control Z or Control Z, depending on where you live, and that'll undo it. But say we're indecisive and we decided to change our mind just, once again. What you can do now, hit Control Y to redo it. And if you're curious about some of these commands, some applications have it, not all, but you can highlight over certain things here, like in Microsoft Word, you'll get a quick screen tip to tell you what the shortcut is and what the action is. All right, and finally, playing with Microsoft Word, the next thing you can do is hit Control S to bring up your save options. Now that works for multiple applications, so just try to remember that these are not all just for Microsoft Word or just Microsoft programs. There's various programs that use those same commands and shortcuts. I know from experience that a lot of the Adobe programs use that. Obviously, if you play with any kind of creative works, Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, things like that, you're always trying out some things and hitting that Control Z to undo so you can try to find yourself a better starting point or to undo something that you didn't really mean to have there. All right, and for the next control options, I'm going to use Google Chrome, and I have Yahoo's homepage loaded up here. So I'm going to show you how all of that same thing works. Control A, I can select everything on their page. I can hit Control C and copy all of that information. I'm going to go here to Microsoft Word, hit Control A to get rid of that. And then since the Yahoo information is what the most previous copy, you can hit Control V, and everything I copied from the Yahoo page in its best formatting is going to copy over to my document here in Microsoft Word. So I'm going to hit Control A to select all, and then I'm going to hit delete because I don't need all of that information there, just to show you how that works. Now here's a couple of quick things you can do in your web browser. Say we want to check mail, but we don't want to leave the Yahoo main page because we want to see what's going on with President Trump. So we don't want to lose that article. What you can do is find the link that you want to check out or that you want to see, hold Control, click the link, and you'll see up here it'll open in its own separate tab. So that way we don't ever have to really leave the main page that we're on. That's really useful if you do a lot of online shopping and you don't want to, say there's some kind of deal that may expire and you want to do some price checking or price comparison. So without leaving that web page and making sure you can keep that on, you just hit Control to open up new links. So I'll show you that one more time. I'm going to just hit Control, click, and it opens up my mail in a separate tab, and I never lost my Yahoo page. The next thing you can do is hold Control and use the mouse wheel to scroll up or down, and it works the same way if you're using a touchpad. You just scroll up or scroll down, and that will zoom in and out of the browser for you. So if you're using a browser and the text is too small and it's straining your eyes, hold Control, zoom up to zoom in, scroll down to zoom out. Now that also works in Microsoft Word. So let's put in some dummy text again here. And that might be too small for you. So I'm going to hold Control, scroll up so that I can zoom in, hold Control and scroll down to zoom out. And if you notice, the zoom bar down here is working in conjunction with that. Scroll up, zoom in, scroll down to zoom out. That also works on your desktop. So say that's too small, we can't see Fletcher. I'm gonna hold control, scroll up, and there now we can see him. Maybe that's too big. I'm gonna scroll down while still holding control, and that will resize things on the desktop. So that's holding control and scrolling with the mouse wheel or touchpad in order to zoom in and out. Now, another thing you can do in your browser, say this information seems like it may be old, we don't want that information. So here, let's zoom in, holding control and zoom up. You can hit Control R to refresh the page. Now, if you know anything about networking and the cache and all that stuff, a lot of times your computer, what you're seeing is actually old information that your computer stored on your computer for you. It's in a cache file, it's temporary. If you need to see a more updated copy of that, you hold Shift and hit F5. That's like a hard refresh. It gives you whatever is the latest data instead of what's cached on your computer. All right, so again, that's Shift F5 to do a hard refresh. To do a normal refresh is Control R, or you can simply just use the F5 button. And that's how you can refresh. That works the same way in your folders. If you ever created something and it's not showing up in the folder you created, hit Control R to refresh the folder, or you can also right click and then go to refresh. Now, the next couple of ones, these are very simple ones. You might want to use these. Again, these are just to help you be a little bit more efficient. So say we have a bunch of things going on the desktop, but we kind of need to see what else is going on. And we have all of these windows and we don't know what's what, you know, especially if your taskbar has just icons. So you want to be able to cycle through what you have there. All right, so the next one I'm going to show you here is just a quick shortcut using the Alt key. Hold Alt and press Tab. And you can cycle through the windows that you have open. And wherever you stop, that's the window that'll open. So let's say we want to go here. You let go of the Tab and Alt keys and it'll open that window. But maybe that's the wrong window. It just looked like one that we wanted. Hold Alt, hit Tab, and cycle through the app that you want to open up. And that will be the current window for you. If that's not the window you want and you actually don't even need that one open, you can hold Alt and hit F4 and that'll actually close that window for you. So again, these are helpful just in case you have a wireless mouse or something like that. Your touchpad is acting up, your mouse is acting up or dead. You want to be able to navigate using at least some basic shortcut keys. So I'll show you that one more time. We're going to hold Alt and hit Tab to cycle through the apps. So let's see, maybe we want to see what's here. And when you let go of Alt and Tab, it's going to, wherever you stop, that's the window it's going to open up for you. And this is an image of the first computer I ever owned. I don't know how old you are, but that was the first computer my mom bought me when I was a kid. So yeah, been doing this for a while. So remember, and if we want to close that out, hold Alt, hit F4, it closes that window completely. So the next thing I'm going to show you real quick here is using the Tab key to navigate. So I'm sure you understand that, you know, if you fill out any forms, you can always hit Tab to move to the next section. And it works on web pages also. So if you can see here, I'm hitting Tab to move through these links on the Yahoo page. But let's say maybe I went too far and I passed exactly what I wanted to look for. So here, let's scroll back up here to the top. So when I hit Tab, you can see that the news section lights up. And when I hit it again, it says books. But maybe I wanted news. What you can do is hold Shift and press Tab and move backwards. So I'll show you again. Tab one time goes to news, books, videos, shopping, more. But I meant to stop on news. So hold Shift, hit Tab to move backwards. It works the same way if you're using any forms. If you're filling out forms and you misspell something or miss a spot and you're comfortable using the keyboard shortcuts, just remember you hit Tab to move forward, hold Shift and hit Tab to move backwards. And finally here, I'm going to show you a couple of quick Windows key shortcuts. So again, if you're using a Windows-based PC, you should have a Windows key to the bottom left. It's usually right next to the Alt key down by the space bar. So one, you can hit the Windows key to open up your start menu. That's been the convention forever. So remember, Windows key opens up the start menu. You can hold the Windows key and press C to bring up Cortana. If you have Cortana active, if you're not familiar with Cortana, it's pretty much like the Alexa. It's a virtual assistant that you can use. So if you have Cortana active, you can hit Windows key and C to bring up Cortana. If you have a lot of windows open, you can hit the Windows key and press D to show the desktop. So I'll show you that one again. I'm going to open up all of these windows. My desktop is cluttered. I need to get everything out of the way real quick so I can see what I'm doing. Hold the Windows key, press D to show your desktop. Now another function that's similar to that one is holding the Windows key and pressing M. M will minimize everything. So what you can do, hold Windows, press M, everything minimizes. Great. Now you want everything to come back. You saw what you were looking for, what have you. You can see your desktop. Hold the Windows key, the Shift key, and press M, and everything that was minimized will be restored for you. If you have to walk away from your computer real quick, if you've worked in the office, then you should know that this has always been a rule. Make sure you lock your desktop. Make sure you lock your desktop. Yes, sir. Okay, so what you can do, instead of the Alt Control Delete, hold the Windows key and press L. L is in lock, and the desktop is now locked. And if you need to search for things, just remember Windows is integrated to search features throughout the entire operating system, and it's been working wonders. Hold the Windows key, press S as in search, and instantly bring up your search bar. So you can search through your apps, you can search through the computer itself, and it'll even do a web search for you. And you can see the various options that are available for you to have an advanced search. Now, for you people who are tied to your phones and love using emojis, and you've given up on using your computer because you can't put emojis in all your little dumb messages, no problem. If you need to get to your emojis, let's say we want to say ha ha ha, but we want the smiley laughing face. Hold the Windows key, press the period key, and that brings up your emojis. Now what you can do, you can either select the emoji using your mouse, or you type the name of the emoji. So let's say if we do sob, it's going to bring up the sobbing emoji, but that's not the one we want. So that window is going to stay active until we click out of it, and now that window's gone. So again, hold the Windows key, press period, bring up our emojis, let's type in ha ha, and that's going to bring you up all the emojis that relate to ha ha. The next Windows shortcut is going to be holding the Windows key and pressing tab, which is going to be similar to the Alt tab. Remember, if you hold Alt and press tab, you can cycle through the open apps, right? Now with this one, you hold the Windows key and press tab, and it'll bring up this type of menu where you can let go of both keys and then select what you want. You can use the left and right arrow keys up and down, or use your mouse, but that one will stay locked to the computer and allow you to select. So although you let go of the buttons, it's not going to take away that screen. You can actually, it pretty much locks it on there for you, and then you just go on and find the window you'd like to open. Again, that is holding the Windows key and pressing tab. All right, and for our final Windows shortcut, you want to hold the Windows key and press V. That brings up the clipboard. That way we can see everything that we've copied. Remember this dummy text that we copied for Microsoft Word? It's right there. So here, let's hit Windows M to minimize everything. I'm going to hit Windows V and bring up my clipboard. Whatever you click is going to automatically copy for you. So let's take a look here. Let's go into this document. We're going to hold Control, scroll up so we can see all of the information. Control A to select all, backspace to delete all of that information. Let's hit the Windows key and V. That brings up whatever we've copied. I'm going to select my dummy text, and voila, it inserts the dummy text for you. And just one last time, I'm going to hold the Windows key, press V to bring up my clipboard. Remember this section here? This is all the stuff we copied from Yahoo. So I'm going to click that, and voila, it puts it right back into our Word document or whatever type of program you're using. Again, another way to copy and paste information. So those are all the shortcuts that we're going to show you here. I have one more trick that I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to get out of your hair. Watch this. All right, so I just created a new folder on the desktop, and what I'm going to do is copy this text file, Control C, and then click inside of the window of the new folder I made and hit Control V to paste it. So let's say this one right here is called Job Notes, right? If we try to paste another one, it's going to want to overwrite it. So what you can do is rename the file. You can either right click and rename, or go up here into your ribbon and hit rename. We'll call this one Job Notes 2. Hit enter, and then we're going to Control V to paste our original job notes. And what I'm doing here, just selecting all. So you can either drag and click to select, or just hit Control A to select all, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. So I'm going to paste a bunch of these in here real quick. All right, so say we have these files, and for whatever reason, like I said, I can't tell you what those job notes are. They are G14 classified, and I can't lose my job by telling you stuff you don't need to know. So I'm going to hit Control A, and we want to rename all of these files to job notes. And we don't have any specific names they need to be, but we like to make sure that we know that these are job notes, and we'd like to know what order they need to be in. So what you can do, again, Control A to select all, right click the first one, and then go to rename. Now, when I rename the first one, everything else is going to rename itself, and then it's going to give itself a number. So if you can see here, they do have numbers at the end, but everything's kind of jumbled up because they're out of order. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say this is G14 classified. And when I hit enter, notice everything changed and they are all in successive order. So that's a way to do what's called batch renaming. So if you have some files where they can have a similar name, but you want to have, different numbers to them, that's how you do that. Now let's say we want to select a range. I showed you guys this in the Microsoft Word tutorial. Let's select this one, number 14, and then hold the shift key and hit number 24. And that'll select everything from 14 to 24. So again, what I did, starting point, hold shift, ending point. The other thing you could do is hold control, remember that, and pick things that are not adjacent to one another. But we don't want to do that. That's not what we want to do. So I'm going to go back to 14, hold the shift key, click down to 24. Now, these are not G14 classified, but I still can't tell you what they are. So I'm going to right click the first one in that sequence, go to rename. Now, once I hit enter, these have all been placed in successive order for Sector 7 stuff. So that's your batch file rename, and that is all we have for you guys today. Again, my name's Dathan from the Winkin' Gentleman Society, or you can call me Brown Llama if we're going to get online and play some video games. What? Thank you guys for checking us out, and if you have any questions or need any help, feel free to email us at winkinggentleman@gmail.com or just post a comment and we'll get back to you. Peace.